The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And good afternoon. It is a wonderful Wednesday, August 15th, here at the headquarters for technical trading and investing, TFNN.com. It is also National Relaxation Day. Read a book, get a massage, watch a movie, go for a long walk, or maybe even take a nap. But just relax. And there's no better symbol of relaxing than the Lazy Boy recliner. Ooh, oh, how I love my Lazy Boy recliner. There's just nothing better. Lean back, watch a little TV, have a cereal malt beverage. Ooh, very good. Anyway, it is a nice day. Kind of hot and sweaty out, but we've got about 2 more weeks. Got the Republican National Convention coming to town. Every day when I come to work here, I see them doing a little bit more work on trying to make sure that some kind of born identity spy doesn't fall out of the sky, swim through the 1 foot of tidal action shoreline around downtown and get in and do ill will to somebody. But the boats, I saw the boats out there with the machine guns today. They put a bunch of the U.S. Coast Guard boats out there with 50 cals on them. Normally, of course, they just pop around out on the, mostly around the coast, not this far deep in the bay. But of course, they're all showing up and dropping them in, putting them in, and all the little entryways across the causeways are being closed off. They were down there last night welding the manhole covers down so people can't go through the sewer system, and welding grates into them so people couldn't go from grate to grate. Anyway, a lot of stuff coming. I guess that's going to be the 7th of this month, but we're here at ground zero to figure it out. But what do we have? Near field communications. I talked a little bit about that last week. Had a few questions and actually a few more emails. Who's going to win? I said it's just confused. It just got even murkier today. A group of a dozen retailers, including Walmart, Target, 7-Eleven, Sunco, it's calling itself the Merchants Customer Exchange, MCX. They are going for yet another standard for paying with your cell phone, and it's unclear exactly which place that they're pushing. You've got Visa and MasterCard to have an embedded reason to make sure that you keep using your card. They have, up to this point, really gone against what is already available in Europe, and that is charge cards with chips in them. They didn't want people to have to spend a lot of money, then to only have to spend more money yet again when this near-field communications chip in your cell phone actually passes the credit card information across it. They really haven't talked about the technology. They're more talking about the back end and a conglomeration. But the thing is going to be, if the chip doesn't match what that has, are there going to be 14 different standards for this thing? And my guess is everybody keeps fighting over it, and with the exception of a few people like Starbucks, there is not a standard good enough to apply to enough merchants and also have the security that anybody's going to want this thing long term. Any signal sent between 2 radio frequency devices can be listened to, can be broken and decrypted, and that information used to make illicit purposes later. I think there's going to be a lot of this kind of going back and forth before this thing ever gets solved. But if you thought it was going to be clear, this is like herding cats. Probably the best, since we've got the two largest retailers, 7-Eleven and Sunoco, you probably need to get a few more national gas station companies, because that's where this thing's going to be used a lot. But if you could get a few more on board, they may be able to at least get these cats in a herd and out on the prairie and kind of have a little, just have a little Old West rodeo out here. But you're going to have to get a critical mass, a tipping point, and when everybody says, yes, this is going to be the bunch I go with. Right now, this is probably the best, because these people don't particularly like Visa and MasterCard. They kind of look at them as the mob, who's been getting a lot more money out of every sale than they should. A necessary evil if you're Walmart or Target. Imagine starting your own group and getting and bypassing Visa and MasterCard. What would that look like for them long term? I would say not very good. These people might even start their own Visa, MasterCard, Discover kind of card system and bypass Visa and MasterCard long term. So, those guys have a axe to grind in this too. It's not all over, but I suspect we may see the first salvo in what comes out in the Apple product on the 12th of September. With the iPhone 5, rumors are back and forth about what is in it and what is not in it. There have been some pictures, but nobody has been able to tear apart the thing from inside and see what chips are in it. My guess would be probably somewhere around that 12th, we're going to get an early look where someone takes this thing apart, and I'm going to want to try to get in if I can. And it happens during the day without much fanfare. You might be able to get into that company that makes the NFC chip, but it's probably going to be a 1 or 2 or 3 day where that thing rips. And probably the best chance of putting together a consortium for the near-field communications chips. The Empire Fed turned negative today. First time in about, November 2011. So what do we got here? 8 months, something like that. The key business activity index fell 13 points. Of course, this is the whole Northeast sector and Northeast Fed area up there, and not very good. The key business activity index fell 13 points to negative 5.85, below expectations for a marginal decline to 7. So not very good information at all. Early in the morning, everybody kind of thought that this meant, once again, that the Fed was just over the hill, ready to come on down. The first 30 minutes in the first, till 12 o'clock today, Eastern Time, had the lowest volume of about 3 years ago. We could not even get into 1 billion shares on the consolidated tape by the 12 o'clock hour, or 2.5 hours into trading. So very, very light volume. Again, we've got less than 1.6 billion shares now. I think we had even 1.8 or 1.9 yesterday when we started the show. So it continues to be a weak market. I suspect that this has the fingerprints of the Fed all over it. If you were a street name, you certainly would be manipulating the S&P futures a lot differently. Let me put it that way. You'd want some volatility. You wouldn't want the volatility to just drop to nothing. This is much more of a setup, I suspect, for bad news coming out in Europe. I think it's only a matter of time before everybody figures out that Germany is not willing to, the people there are just not going to be willing to to go after or subsidize the welfare state in the rest of Europe. We do have a caller here, and it is Mike from California. How you doing today, Mike?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
Much better. I've been very sick for the last almost 4 weeks now, and I'm actually just started feeling better on Monday and actually feeling pretty good now.
Glad to hear that. Yeah, one quick thing before we talk about Riverbed. Do you know that they're only podcasting your shows on Monday, Wednesday, Friday? They're not doing the Tuesday, Thursdays?
Well, we'll have to find out about that.
I just thought I'd mention that to you.
I will.
Sorry.
I'm seeing the head of there in the engineering department cringing right now. So yes, thank you very much, Mike. I give you a gold star.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'd like to talk to you about Riverbed. I've been following this for a long time, but I missed it coming off the bottom here at around 14 or so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out whether this is a dead cat bounce or whether they're starting to heal again and going back up.
I like the bounce. I'm pretty sure that bounce was off earnings.
Yeah, it was.
Let me see here, just so I make sure. Everybody in the world right now is scared. We got Cisco after the bell tonight.
Yeah. And
everybody is scared to death right now in all of networkdom over the effect that this Insera technology that who made it?
They're the ones that do basically virtual routers.
Yeah. But who was it that bought them? It begins with a V.
VMware?
Yeah, VMware bought them.
Okay.
And everybody now is scared the living daylights out of what is out there in the technology. When you go back and look at, I think it's EasyChip, EZCH also.
Yeah.
They blew up. Everybody's just cutting back on buying any kind of product right now. EasyChip makes a lot of chips for the router company, especially high-end stuff. Stuff that would be, say, on the very edge of the network for somebody like Google or Apple or Microsoft or any of these big places, Yahoo, that kind of stuff. And we continue to see just everybody going into shock mode. And I'm really concerned. I think you're going to know a lot more. I'd listened to the Cisco announcement tonight. They're kind of acting like it's no big deal. But everybody in the industry, everything I've read, has just said they're in total shock mode. They really don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of patents on it, and everybody's just sure that this is going to blow apart the market. I guess this is kind of the equivalent, because the whole Insera thing is kind of the equivalent of RIM when they came along. They put two processors in their little phone so that they could do messaging and basically do everything at the same time. And that's kind of almost the equivalent of this. Everything up to this point has been done with one big processor in the router. And they're really putting a way of virtualizing the router space and the way it's put together very, very intelligently. I'm surprised that VMware got a hold of this Insera bunch. You'd think Cisco would have been smart enough to snap them up.
Yeah, I agree. That's a little surprising too.
But that whole sector right now, where everybody's in this, you want to hang on through the break?
That's right. I think you've given me what I need. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say first thing we want to do, there's no reason to buy it right now with Cisco out after the bell. I'd want to hear just a little bit more about what Cisco said about the industry.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. I'll comment a little more when we come back.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers, where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, I was going to go to the next thing. If you missed it, John Deere and Company missed. They're off about 6% today, off almost $5. A little off, probably a lot. I guess they were a lot lower, maybe $1.50 earlier. Net income rose 11%, but fell well short of Wall Street expectations. They're blaming Brazil and a lot of the sugar prices, and maybe they've reached a saturation point in some of these more third world areas. I always remember John Deere from my early days. I think I was 13 and 14. I lived in an area that was right at the edge of town and into farmland. One of my friend's dad always had buck hay and clean horse stalls and all that. I'd go out there and help them out do that. But I always remember the big ads that they had on there. And John Deere had a big ad that they put out that said, "We always stand behind our manure spreaders." But I don't think they actually did. But I always remember that ad. But John Deere, probably a good indication that we're seeing some weakness in that third world already, especially them pointing out Brazil and a lot of the machines they use for the Keynes centers. We've talked about Pinterest and their new applications, showed them off last week a little bit. This is probably going to be the next big IPO. I don't know when it's going to be, 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, with the poison well that we have with Facebook. But it is going to be problematic. But they do have new apps for both Apple and Android out today that look fairly interesting. Probably be a good thing to keep an eye on it and know what it is in the coming future. Going to be interesting. Ethanol is also a big issue today with corn. Very crazily, the idea is that they're going to try to drive the price up on pork and chicken so beef doesn't look so bad, because of course they use corn for beef. This is very, I gotta say, it sounds to me on the surface insane. Maybe someone will explain it to me. But they're going to buy $100 million worth of pork products, $50 million worth of chicken, $20 million worth of lamb and farm-raised catfish. Obama explained to reporters in front of a drought-stricken cornfield, we're going to drive all the prices up. That way, beef does not look that expensive. Well, I don't know if it's just a tortured way of trying to pacify corn farmers or what, but it's just insane to me that we use corn for fuel. Thanks to the ethanol mandate, more than 40% of the nation's corn crop now goes into the production of a useless fuel that hardly anyone would buy if the government didn't force it on us. In fact, gas would go down about 25 cents a gallon if it was just back to 100% gas. Now that we're producing a little bit more of it, maybe it's the time we get off the ethanol teat. But just my opinion. I know how tough it is, and the reason why Iowa is the first stop for people running for office, and the only reason probably why we have this methanol mandate. Windows 8 is really coming down the pike now. They're starting to run some things out the door. The first one today is SkyDrive. They have a brand new interface on it. SkyDrive's like Dropbox, a lot of other systems out there, SugarLink, Google Drive, just a ton of them that are all like that. I had a question, I guess, out here in the den. What are the advantages of ethanol? Well, they proved that it actually causes more pollution, not less. The idea was that we were going to be able to at least shift some of that money here to the United States and farmers instead of sending it to the Mideast. But of course, gas got expensive enough that we started drilling here, and what did we find out? Oh, there was lots of gas that we could actually get here without driving our prices up. What can you say? Anyway, back to SkyDrive. Microsoft will give you 7 gigabytes of storage to start off with, but you can pay for more. I played with it today. Actually, very cool, very sharp interface. And the reason I bring this up is they already have, if you have Windows 7, an interface into it so that you can basically install it like it's part of the operating system. It will be part of the operating system in Windows 8 and give you a good kind of window into how Windows 8 is going to work, because the Windows 8 interface is in SkyDrive as of today, but it's also going to give you an idea how the interfaces between things like their tablets and their phone are going to work up and synchronize across PCs, tablets, and cell phones, smartphones. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. I'll show you a picture of my pride and joy when we come back. On SkyDrive, actually.
Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had have been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back, we're going to look at SkyDrive for just a second, but pretty cool. We've got, let me see if I can find it up here. Go back a little bit. There's a picture of my pride and joy, if you haven't seen that. Everybody likes that. Picture of my new foster dog who doesn't quite understand his size. But let me see, go back here to the front page of it here. So if I can find it, there it is. But it gets you set up. You can have a place to put your documents, your pictures. You can set up a place for public people that can look at our public site, so everybody can look at stuff and trade stuff out. But pretty nice. It's very well set up, and there's a download if you're using Windows 7 to go ahead and make it part of your operating system, so you can always be sharing data and files across on it. Actually, I thought it was extremely slick and a very good idea how this tiled interface of Windows 8 is going to look. There's another picture of it. Oh, I'll go back just a second. Very nice. A lot of cool features to go back and play with your images or your documents, sort them all out and everything. Pretty cool. Al-Qaeda, probably not investing news, but just hit me kind of funny. Al-Qaeda is running help wanted ads for suicide bombers. It just drives me insane to think that you could actually have help wanted ads for a bomber. The ad seeks jihadists to carry out suicide attacks. My only thought was, what are the retirement benefits? I bet they don't bring that up very much in that help wanted ad. The Samsung Galaxy Note 10.0 is being launched out today. It's going to be about $500 and $600 for the 8 and 16 gigabyte versions of it. Everybody's saying it is a very slick piece of equipment. The reviews are very good. The one thing that I think that a lot of people are really excited about is a PIN of it, and the other thing is on-device encryption. I talked a lot about a lot of places that could not use the iPad because there is no built-in device encryption. So finance, medical places, a lot of that stuff. I suspect the next iPad we see will have on-device encryption. But we were even talking about things like near-field chips and encryption for that, so people can't break it. This is going to be a big issue, an ongoing issue. But at least the Samsung Galaxy Note getting very high reviews. They're saying it's probably within a couple of percent of good as the iPad, and that being able to use the PIN is very cool. But already trying to sell these into businesses, and I think they're going to do fairly good as being the first product out there that actually has on-device encryption out there. I still suspect that that they will never be what everybody else has hoped that they would be in that marketplace, but they're probably going to do well outside of America. There's a nice little picture of it if anybody has not seen it yet. Of course, all these things are rectangular. When the screen goes off, it's got kind of a silvery finish. If anybody's seen an F-16 canopy, when the power is off, normally the back half of the canopy, it's got this kind of like silver reflective LCD LCD liquid crystal in it that unless there's power to it, it is kind of opaque. It's the same kind of thing. It kind of has a mirrored finish out there. They spent a lot of time to implement the use of a stylus in it and added a lot of apps to it. So a lot of people are thinking this may be a great vertical application for people like taking orders. Like if you work at Cisco, the food Cisco, you're going out and taking orders all day. This may be great because you can interface it without having to do the peck and hunt with it, and have your nice little stylus out there. But getting great reviews out there. The Priceline Negotiator is back tomorrow. He lives. He's coming back. William Shatner. I suspect he was gone for medical reasons, although not everybody is saying much, but I had some pictures out there, and he looks a lot better than when he left 8 months ago. He went over that bridge, and we lost the negotiator. I'm going to be kind of interested to find out how he comes back to life, but there's some pictures of him with a surfboard in a suit, looking a little bit better and a little leaner than he did before. But I'm not exactly sure if Priceline is going to change, but maybe the ads coming back will be interesting. If you didn't see it last night, a absolute stunning image from Dallas. They had one of the worst lightning storms ever recorded, and if you see this picture, it is well worth the price of admission from last night. Just absolutely stunning. Our old Mother Nature, I guess they must have made her mad or something, but absolutely just stunning. to see that much. And we're the lightning capital of the world here in Tampa. We've got a big piece of limestone that runs out about 50 miles out into the Gulf and almost up to Orlando. The salt water sucks into it, makes it a giant battery. It makes this the lightning capital of the world. But I've never seen even this as much as anything else. But very interesting. So we're going to get to some other stuff here real quick. Oh, let me get the charts back up here. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648, and we will be more than glad to take your call and talk to you. But got to be fairly interesting. I'm trying to actually see where we're at here, and if I have time. Yeah, I got plenty of time here. Let me get back to just one thing, because I'm going to need to actually get to it, and that is... That's got to be it right there. Unfortunately, I think I lost something. Maybe I can get it back here. Maybe it's this test 10, 13. Nope, it's got to be in here then. I wanted to show you one thing that was in my newsletter, because it's still there, and that is the options curve for today. It hasn't moved more than about 30 cents over the last 6 days on the SPYs. And the option curve, expiration curve, is just how much money would be made if you were long or basically had puts or calls. And there's a center point to that. Normally that points to where the most amount of people would lose money. Most options go expired. About 85% of them go to Friday and will expire worthlessly. Only about 15% are ever executed throughout the life of the 90-day option, if they actually even have that long of a life out there. But we're pretty close to 136 out here. I keep suspecting we're going to get some kind of surprise, but what it really tells us is that we're at a price point that there just isn't a lot of impotence to drive this thing much higher. And, you know, the difference in the money is not that huge, but it's normally when these things are like this, they have a tendency to want to gravitate down to that level. But I think that's why we're seeing such incredibly light volume. Someone's holding the market up, but would like to pull back, not hugely, not into the world. But if we saw the SPYs at 136, that would be fairly normal out there. So not a lot to actually see in that. What else do I want to talk about? There's a few charts out here. Analog devices, we're seeing a lot of these chip companies up here hitting highs with lighter volume. We're seeing that in analog devices. It has come up and came within about a dime of its previous high. The February 17th high was $40.83, 3.3 million shares. Is that right? Yeah. 3.3 million shares. We saw that, and it pretty much came into that just a dime lower, but it came in with 2.4 million shares. And the energy up, not all that bad, but that normally at least makes me think we're probably going to come back down and at least do a 50% retracement of this last move up before we go ahead and head higher on this if you're thinking bullish. Not all that bearish on it, but we are seeing a lot of these do test the previous high on lighter volume. AIG is another one. This thing kind of hammered down again, and of course they're trying to sell a lot of their stock continually. Another company like General Motors, when the United States actually is a big holder of shares in IAG, but they popped down, had some fairly decent volume. It has filled that gap now, but we've got a high out here for about 14 million shares at $35.05. Fairly close on that. I think we probably want to be setting an alarm on here and watching that. One of the things you can expect, though, is during options expiration, is a lot of these stocks, especially on the incredibly light volume we have, to be pushed to an expiration number, and I wouldn't be very surprised to see this thing expire right at $35 as we come in on Friday, if there isn't the kind of movement I'm looking at. CSQ is another one. CSQ pretty much came in as I thought it would today. This is the Strategic Return Fund. It had been coming up to a high, and the volume had been kind of low. We saw 459,000 shares on the 8th. We were going back in and testing the high of the March 15th at $10.06 with 1 million shares. Just not a whole lot of energy. Tried to open way above that today and made a nice little dragonfly doji out here, and I pretty much think that we're seeing kind of the end of the expiration cycle in that. We've been watching Harris, which I don't know if it'd be a great play or not, but it is one of the bigger companies out there, especially in electronics and in a lot of different fields, but it's been kind of pounding away at these highs. Certainly another one that has not been getting a lot of volume. What we're looking at here is this thing pounding away at a high on the April 2nd at $45.76. It had 1 million shares. Tried to get back onto it on April 27th, but came in about 20% short. We're in about 30% short of that first high now, with about 700,000 shares for the highest, but only about 500,000 so far today. So we continue to watch that one. I think, again, we're watching some of these stocks. I would not be surprised if this thing, when I look at the options, see this one driven back down to $45 on Friday if the market continues to stay sideways. Another one is the IVW, which is the iShares 500 Growth Index Fund, another one that's banging away at these tops, but again, very light volumes in this ETF. We've had the high volume high on this one on April 2nd, much like the other one we just talked about, $76.19. Came into it with 1.1 million shares. Tried on 600,000 shares on May 1st this time as its high. And we're getting into August 14th here and yesterday, and kind of pulling back into this movement. But we've got... got to $76.51, so what, 22 cents above that, but only 4/10 of the volume out here. Two major gaps down below that can get filled, and I'd be watching these, especially this one. Could drop $2.50 with no problem. May even find itself back into that $73 level here fairly soon. Let's see what else we got going on here. JP Morgan Chase, JPM, of course, pretty beat up, a little black and blue from all the allegations out here. It's finally come back and filled that gap, or it's trying to fill that gap, let me put it. But it is also another one banging out here. When we look at the volume, let me see here, get back here just a little bit better with this. When we look at the volume here just the last 4 or 5 days, it's getting down to absolutely nothing as we come back and hammer that gap down. That gap down happened on 217 million shares on the 11th of May. We've come back in here, not getting anywhere close to that. We're going to have a huge amount of people that as soon as every time it gets to that gap are going to be more than willing to sell. And we're going to have to continue watching that very closely. But I would suspect that we've got a good chance of it coming back if the market starts to weaken to at least in the 32 range. There's a nice little gap out here, and I suspect that this thing is, on any market weakness, is going to be headed right back down that way. What else do we have here? See if I can find something else. Medtronic, Valero. We've been watching energy fairly decently here, and Valero, another one that looks like it's gotten very close to testing these highs. We will look at it. We'll be back in just a short segment here. Give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. And we will be back after this commercial break.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Time is the great equalizer of all mankind. Time doesn't care about winners or losers, who succeeds or fails. Time only cares that you played the game. Question: are you playing the money game? Is your money working as hard for you as you are for it? I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter service, and we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary. In year 1, we generated a 30% profit. Plus, I provided 26 hours of live coaching to my clients. My daily newsletter service is available by 8 a.m. each day and covers the stock, futures, currency, and commodity markets, along with all the current patterns that you can trade. Each newsletter is packed with education, and it's yours for as little as $3 per day. And for the next 30 days, you can try it risk-free. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage of TFNN.com and begin your journey to great wealth today. If you're waiting for a better tomorrow, remember this: today's tomorrow will soon be yesterday, and your clock is ticking. Mastering Probability. Now is your time.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Hey, as we come back, we're going to look at a couple of... We haven't talked about many Gartley patterns lately. We have a few kind of that have set up, but we're going to talk about this and maybe a couple other stocks before the end of the show. Still have time. You can give me a ring at 877-927-6648. It is a wonderful day out here, but we've got a market that's about flat as a pancake. I love that Head East album. But we're going to have to continue to look at those. Let's see if I can find... there it is. Maybe I've got go back here just a few links. I wanted to check on the volume before the end of the day. I actually showed a chart to Tom O'Brien, I think it was last Friday, that with the declining volume we've had over the last few months, it looks like we're going to come up over the year somewhere around half the volume that we had this year. And we're still up, about 2 points on the S&P, and we've got 1.8 billion shares. So that puts us out to about 2.5 billion, which is right at what we had, Monday, with the lightest volume day that year. We could come in even, using back of the envelope math, we could even come in with 100 million less than that right now. We are tracking less volume than that day, and that volume actually had a lot of volume in the last 10 minutes, or we wouldn't even made the 2.5 billion. The volume at noon was lighter than today. Anyway, I wanted to get into Darden restaurants. If you've been trying to figure out Gartley patterns, this is an interesting one to look at because it's got pretty much all the stuff that I like to see in one, except a bigger low, but it certainly came back down fairly hard. But nice pattern out here. If you're looking at these, of course, they start with an X point. Your X point starts off at May 16th, $55.84. Your first A comes in at June 5th, $48.39. Your B comes in on July 19th. At $52.51. You almost have a test of the bottom. Still 50 cents above it, though. $48.78 on July 25th. We're coming right into the projected target for a bearish Gartley. That would be at $54.25. We got within about 16 cents of that today and pulled back. This one actually had a very weak move up. You can see the volume back in here, but not a whole lot different than the rest of the market. But if you want to learn, this would be a good one to look at. The volume, the one thing I really like on this one is that the B point out here had 3.6 million shares, and you really, when you came into it, you just had like a million and a half shares all the way through the point up to this up to the D point of the Darden restaurants. So a good one. I would have liked to see a little more volume down here at the C point, a little more selling pressure into it. But when we look at it, just breaking the previous high out here on July 19th, that had 3.6 million shares into it, with what do we got today? 700,000 shares as we go into that D point for the Gartley pattern. Not a bad thing to be watching out here. The other one I wanted to get into, a non-Gartley, is a test of the top. The market is kind of bipolar. It thinks that either things are good, getting better, or they're bad, getting worse. A lot of times when you get up here, especially in a sector that's recoiling, even a dead cat bounce, it's not that hard to see a big bounce out of these things. But what we're looking at is a previous high at $22.43 on May 2nd. Of 12 million shares, and we've got about half that, about 5 million, in an ETF that's deadly. You all have a great and safe day. I will see you tomorrow on the headquarters, or from the headquarters of Technical Trading and Investing, TFNN.com.